Zhang. Okay, first of all, when I read your bio, I'm actually thinking like I'm in the planet, other planet, because we are talking about the Z Lab, we're talking about the ROI. So could you just summarize in the simple, sentences, what exactly you doing in your Z Lab?
Well, before I start, please allow me to really express my deep gratitude for being invited to this event. I'm truly honored because I can feel how special this day is. And I also wanted to say really thank you to Dr. Nana and to Idan and Ika and Bimu for your friendship. And I always love coming to any event by Indonesia, but I just love coming here. You see the reason now. Like I just really love coming here. So thank you so much, and especially today, I'm really honored to be a speaker, and I wanted to share my experience. So starting with this question. If I may, I have to say that after I got the invitation, the first thing I did was ordering the book by Kartini on Amazon. I read all her letters to her Dutch pen pal. And I was so inspired, and I couldn't believe all the words were from more than 100 years ago. Because if you read it today, you still feel like it's relevant. And I want to congratulate for Indonesia for all your achievement. I mean, you deserve this truly celebration. But in the meanwhile, I still feel like we're still on the road of empowerment. There's still much more we could do. Now, to answer your question, in a simple way, let me share a little quick story. As I was reading, my 5-year-old came to me, and we started having a conversation. Speaking of being a working mom, right? And then we were just talking, and then all of a sudden I threw up this question that you ask kids all the time, right? What do you want to be when you grow up, right? Yes. You all remember when you were a child, and I want you guys to think back when you were a child. What do you want to be? And then his answer to me was, I want to be a zoologist because he loves animals. He just want to work with animals all the time. And then he asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was not prepared. I'm like, I'm 40-year-old, and I felt like I haven't thought about that question for a while. And then I was like, I want to help people. I want to be a helper. So he asked me, what do you want to help with? Like, what do you want to help them with? I didn't thought about it. I just want them. I want to help realize their dreams. I really do. And guess what? He thought about it and he said, oh, mommy, I got it. You want to be a fairy. So that's from a 5-year-old perspective. And then I just felt like, kids inspires us. And I felt like, Rohan, I want to grow up with you. Let's all grow up and, realize our dreams. So coming back to your question, everything I do, and although it sounds like, I'm teaching and I have my consulting practice, and my amazing colleague Megan's here, and she attends all Indonesian events too. You probably see her a lot too, because sometimes when I couldn't be there because of my little ones, I send her on behalf of myself. And then I also serve pro bono as board members on a lot of nonprofits, especially connecting with this international community. But everything I do, coming back to, I just really want to help. I want to help people realize their true potential. And that's something I want to really speak about today. Because regardless of whether you are having a 9-to-5 job, or you may be, taking care of your family, regardless of what you do, I believe there's something, and I want to call them not childhood dreams. This is my second question for everybody. What is your grown-up dreams? Because you might have a childhood dream when you were told to be a scientist, or engineer, or lawyer, or doctor, but those were mainly influenced by social desirability when you were a kid. But as we were growing up, we truly discover ourselves, right? In this journey of growing up, and I felt like everybody sitting here must have a grown-up dream. Things you feel like I wish I could do someday. Honestly, I did not think I was gonna have a business because I was this academic. Dr. Nana was a professor too, and I was committed to my research, which is on the topic of social networks, as you introduced. But then I felt like, I really want more people to apply what the academics discovered in their research in real practice. However, the sad reality is there's a huge gap between higher education and real-world practice, unfortunately. So I felt like I want to do something to bridge this gap. I want to, on the one hand, bring what we discover from research findings to business practice much faster than like 5 or 10 years textbook kind of education. In the meanwhile, I also think there's a lot going on in the business world that can use some help from I call them otherwise hibernating talents. What do we mean by this? There's a lot of talented people in this world, but they're currently hibernating. They might be even working 9 to 5 every day. There's more in them. And I want to help awaken that kind of workforce that's among us. And I believe sitting here with us today, many of us feel like that. So I have a little mission here. I want us to, everybody, or say every table, I want us to walk in as, partygoer, celebrator of Kartini Gala. I want us all walk out to be a founder or a co-founder. And you might be asking, well, I don't really have a product, or I don't have a project. How am I going to be a co-founder or a founder? Guess what? You. Everybody has a startup. And the project is you, yourself. I want you guys to think about it. And coming back to, so I guess I have the baby version, right? So the formal version of what we do at Z-Lab is, it is really a one-stop shop, so to speak, because we are very comprehensive in terms of marketing or business services. This is because the other problem I observe, I just want to fix things. I just want to solve all the problems, inspired by Kartini now. Because the industry has been very fragmented, the marketing industry. As you all know, the website developers, they're the IT people. And then the graphic designers, they might be artists. And then there's the social media, the millennium, the kids taking pictures and posting with language with no grammar. But they don't really talk to each other, they don't really work with each other because there's a lack of strategic planning. So when it comes to strategic planning, then you realize, oops, we actually need market research to understand who are the target market and have deep insights and analytics about all the online behavior before you actually have the strategic planning. And then once you have that, you can coordinate all the efforts I just mentioned so that they're not fragmented. If they actually work together, and that goes back to the maximized return on investment. So that's what we do at Z-Lab. We use research as, essentially we use research. We are research oriented that data and analytics would guide the strategic planning, which would, eventually coordinate with all the implementation efforts. And we want to help with small businesses, startups, entrepreneurs, innovators, and creatives. And there's a reason we call ourselves Z-Lab, by the way. I want to share a little bit of the namesake too. So our lab, of course, it's innovative, it's experimental, and I came from a psychology background, and I grew up in a research lab. So when I wanted to have my business, I want to call it a lab. And lab also stands for linking academia with business. LAB, linking academia with business. And there's a Z in it too, right? Z, what do you mean by Z? Well, my last name is Zhang. It's really hard to pronounce for Americans, so I go by Dr. Z. But more than that, Z, we also say, it's a full service company from A to Z, and also it's unconventional marketing powerhouse. So rather than ABC, we serve all the way to XYZ. But I also want to tell you guys a little secret. I picked Z because it's the last letter of the alphabet. It's what you felt, Hillary, when you were a kid. It's the little guys. Nobody knows about us. But there's so much potential we all have. And I wanted to help the little guys because, the Fortune 500 companies, they've got plenty of resources. It's the startup, it's the entrepreneurs, the small businesses that need the most help. So we work very closely with the Small Business Administration as well because we share the same mission. We want to help the little guys. And of course, we don't talk about this. It's really just sharing with our friends, where the Z came from. So with that, I wanted everybody to check your table. And you probably could find a bunch of index cards, if I may. I don't know if you have more questions for me, but...
No, you go ahead, Actually, this is a part that Dr. Zhang is going to do. It's sort of kind of interactive participation. So, do you have the card into your table?
Yeah, can you find the cards in the middle of the table? Yeah, there should be a bunch of index cards. If not, maybe might have more to share with everybody, and you may be able to find some pens as well. So I would like to ask everyone write, in the piece of cards, I would like to ask everybody to write down your grown-up dream. What would you like to do? If you were to start a business, what would you like to do? So for example, I can make one suggestion. The lady over there, the question about the weight gain. The lady over there, the question about the weight gain. You could totally start. I'm sorry, I'm just giving an example.
Okay. While everyone is write down their grown-up dreams, on that corner table there is a question to Dr. Zhang. So.
Thank you. That's the first exercise, write down, but it's not over. I'll take step by step for you. So by the end, you would have your business. All right? Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. If Kartini is alive these days, now, what do you think is going to help her to strategize marketing?
Oh, thank you. I wanted to say, first of all, I wish Dr. Hillary was around when Kartini was giving birth. I felt like it's amazing how short her life was and what a huge impact she could have. So just going back to your question on marketing, I felt like, with her, she would have such profound impact nowadays with the help of social media and digital marketing. Because, as you all know, nowadays sharing information is a lot easier than her time, right? She was writing and she really influenced her immediate circle, right? She started with Java and she got married and she still had some constraint. But if she was living now and here, she would have influenced so much more through social media. I would say all her letters, I wish those were in a blog. I was going to suggest the lady over here to share her weight gaining experience in a blog because I'm sure there's a lot of women with similar doubts that could benefit reading someone with similar experience. So I would say starting with social media and starting with followers and then using the network approach and have people being interactive. I felt like that's something that could really help her. And then of course, when she grows, it's more like grassroots. Because, her mission really speaks to a lot of people. Oh no, we're not collecting cards yet. Do we all have some answer on your cards? Okay, so I want you guys to pass this card to the person sitting left. No. Oh no? You're not passing? Okay. Alright. The idea is you might find your partners here. It's very difficult. Hillary can speak for it. Balancing, juggling balls. But if you have a team, I'm so blessed. I wanted to say that, I have an amazing team. You all met today. You should also meet Claire and my other team members. So the purpose is for you guys to discuss
working on it, and then I now actually really what Dr. Zhang is mentioned about the grown-up dreams. It is really something that truly we all need to really think about it. Very quick, as myself is actually a geophysicist, but right now, my actually grown-up dream is really want to reach out and then help, everyone just like you do. So anyway, thank you again, Dr. Zhang and Dr. Patuo, for your time. Everybody, give applause to these two wonderful ladies.